Now, I only have 15 minutes, so I got about, what, 7, 8 after. Okay, so keep an eye on the clock. Because when I pull this up, I can't see the time for some reason. I got to figure out how to do that. Okay, we are on 1, 6 through 7. Right, 7.
It's chapter 1. When's our test?
What's that?
When's our test?
When is it? Probably next week. All right. So here we go. We're doing three-dimensional figures this time. And this program right here draws the picture so much better than I could. That's why I'm going to this today. All right, let's go to this thing right here. Types of solids. So, thank you. All right, so let's take a look at this. Write these down. If you want to draw the pictures, you can. It's in the book. They're kind of hard to draw. I'm not going to keep this up here. Well, maybe I will keep it up here for a while. This little slide right here, the screen, it's exactly in the book on page 67. So if you go to 67, it's right in the book. So if you don't want to draw the pictures, you don't have to. You may want to jot these words down, though. Okay? And I have a little visual aid for you. Visual aid. Yes. So you can see it actually three-dimensional instead of just on the screen. Now, if you ever watch YouTube on this lesson, you won't be able to see all this stuff, but you can hear it. All right. Yeah. All right, so here we go. Let's take a look at the first one. The first one is called a prism. Yeah, it doesn't work anymore. All right, so the first one's a prism. First of all, let's take a look at this word polyhedron, okay, or polyhedron. I'd say polyhedron. It's in the book somewhere, and I covered it up with all my little toys here. Here it goes. If you look on the top of 67, it's in there. It says a solid. So these are all solids, okay? Do you see this? They're not hollow. They're solid. With all flat surfaces. Do you hear what I just said? With all flat surfaces. This is a polyhedron. This is not defined on this page right here. It's on page 67, though, in the book. The polyhedron, it's a solid, they've got flat surfaces, and it says enclose a single region of space, which means there's no gaps or anything like that, okay? Encloses one region of space, and that's called a polyhedron, okay? Flat surfaces. So is this thing I'm showing you right here, it's rounded around the edges, is that a polyhedron?
No, sir.
No, because that's not a flat surface. It's rounded, isn't it? Yes, okay? What if I had something like this? Looks like a cube, I guess, if you want to call it that. Yeah, that's a polyhedron because they're all flat surfaces, okay, and it's a solid that has flat surfaces. What about this thing? Comes to a point. Is that a polyhedron?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, all flat surfaces. So those are all polyhedrons. What about that?
No.
No, because it's rounded. What about this one? That's a flat surface right there, isn't it?
No.
The whole thing's not, though, is it? Okay, so that's not a polyhedron. All right, so we okay? So it's a big, fancy, crazy word, but it's not hard to understand. Just all flat surfaces. We got it? Yeah, I got hungry and took a slice out of it. All right, so that's a polyhedron. So let's talk about this. This is what I'm more concerned about. A prism. What is a prism? Well, it's a polyhedron, which we talked about. It's got two parallel congruent faces, which means, and they're called the bases. Look at this top right here. Do you see that? It's flat surface, isn't it? Look at the bottom. It's parallel to it, which means the sides go straight up. They don't slant, do they? They go straight up. It's flat on the top. It's flat on the bottom. And those are called the bases. And so the whole thing is called a prism. So there's lots of different prisms I've got right here. This would be considered a prism because look at the top and look at the bottom. Okay, they're both parallel to each other, right? The sides go straight up. It's flat on the top. It's flat on the bottom. And the sides just go straight up. They don't go to a point. It's flat on the top, flat on the bottom. Everybody got that? What's the top and the bottom called?
Top and bottom.
Come on, look at the thing. It's a base, isn't it? Okay, it's a base. There's two bases. It's not just the one that sits on. The top is a base and the bottom's a base. They're exactly the same, the top and bottom. Look at this crazy thing right here. Okay, that's a prism as well, isn't it? All right, let's talk about the names of them. What is the shape of the base of this one right here?
Square.
It's a square. So we call this a square what?
Polyhedron.
More specific. A prism. Right, a square prism. Because it's square on the bottom and the sides go straight up. It's square on the top. Got it? There's another one right there. It's just a little skinnier, a little taller, right? Do you see that one? That's also a square prism. Everybody got that? Because it's square on the bottom and the sides go straight up. It's square on the top. What about this one? What would you call this one right here? Look at the base to this one. Triangular prism. Very good. We call this a triangular prism because the base and the two bases are triangles. It goes straight up. It's flat on the top, flat on the bottom. What about this one right here?
Yeah, that's a prism.
There's 6 sides. There's 6. I'll count it for you if you can't see that far. 6 sides to this thing. What do you call that thing?
Heptagon prism. No. 6?
No. What was 6? Hexagon. So we call it, listen, we call it a hexagonal. Okay, we put the AL on there. Hexagonal what? Prism. Okay, those are all prisms. Everybody got me? Let's find another. Oh, here's another one. How many sides here?
8.
8. There's 8 sides. So what do we call this thing?
Octagonal prism.
All right, right. An octagonal. Okay, is how we would say it. Octagonal. It's an octagon. We stick an AL at the end. All right, changes the pronunciation a little bit. We call it an octagonal prism. Got it? Okay, pretty easy. Again, notice the bases are the same. What would this one be right here? This picture.
That'd be
1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is a pentagonal prism. Right, it's a pentagon, isn't it? So there's 5 sides to that base. Look at the sides. They go straight up. It's flat on the top, flat on the bottom. How many times have I said that? A bunch, right? Let's go to the next thing, a pyramid. Now, a pyramid, it's still a polyhedron. You see it? Because all the surfaces are what? Are flat. Right, you got all flat surfaces, nothing curved. So it's all flat surfaces. And look at the bottom. The bottom on this one is a what?
base.
Yeah, it's called the base, but what shape is the bottom? Is the base? It's a square, isn't it? Or it's a rectangle. We're not really sure if it's a square or not. We can at least say it's a rectangle, right? So let's find one. Here we go. Look at the bottom of this one. That's a square, right? Or a rectangle. Square is a rectangle. It's a 4-sided figure. But look what it does. It's just got one base this time. Do the sides go straight up and make a flat surface? No. They angle up to a what? To a point, okay? They angle up to a point. That point has a name. What do you think that's called? Yeah, that's hard, isn't it? It's right there. It's vertex. Okay, the bottom is a base, the top is a vertex, and the sides slant up, don't they? See how it slants? Doesn't go just perpendicular, does it? It doesn't just go straight up. It slants up until it hits the vertex. That's a pyramid. You got it? Prism, it's flat on the top and bottom. Prism, it's got one base and it's pointy at the top. That's a pyramid. Got it? So this would be, I guess, this would be a square. That could be dangerous poking. Okay, this is a square prism right here. Where's the other one? Oh, I said prism, didn't I? You're right. I was just testing you. Not really. It's a pyramid, not a prism. Okay, what's this one? Look at the bottom of this one. Look at the base.
Triangle.
It's a triangle. So it's a what? Triangular pyramid. You get it? I don't have any other shapes of pyramids. That's all I got. All right, so they're pyramids. That's not too hard, is it? Let's look at this. Let's look at things that are not polyhedrons. Okay, this is a cylinder. Why is this cylinder not a polyhedron? It's closed. It's a solid. Alyssa? That's right. It's rounded. It's not all flat surfaces, is it? It's rounded. So we don't call it a polyhedron, but we call it a cylinder. All right, just happen to have a cylinder right here. Okay, that would be a cylinder. Look, but look at the bottom and the top. Still has two bases, doesn't it? You see that? Just like a what? Just like a prism, right? Just like a prism, the top and bottom are exactly the same. Uh-oh. I accidentally clicked. Let's go back to where we were. There we go. All right, so the top and bottom are exactly the same. What is the shape of the top and bottom of this thing?
Circle.
It's a circle. Okay, so we call it a, actually they call it a right circular cylinder. Because sometimes you could have a cylinder that slants, all right? But if it's right, it means the sides go completely straight up and down to the base. Make sense? So it's a right circular cylinder is what this thing is right here. Well, what if you had one and they didn't go straight up, but all the sides slanted to a point in the middle? That would look like this, wouldn't it? See that? Still a circular base, but then they all come to a point. Go like this. Looks like ice cream cone. That makes me
I
hungry.
really like ice cream.
What?
Dude,
It's too fat.
you're un-American.
Yeah.
You are not a human
right
being.
now.
What do you not like?
You should be kicked off the
What do you
planet.
not like,
Go live
beef?
on
How can you
Mars.
not like ice cream?
You can.
Yeah, Matt, you deserve all that.
The only person who does not like ice cream,
Oh, my
I can
brother doesn't
understand,
like
is
ice
people who
cream.
are lactose intolerant.
Right, if you're lactose
And some
intolerant.
of them still.
But you can eat
like
sherbet.
Still like it. They
You
just
can
don't
eat
like
sherbet. That's
that.
kind of like ice cream,
Or you
isn't
take
it?
a pill that
Oh, I
makes
hate
you
sugar.
Okay. All right, here we go.
Or yogurt.
Enough silliness. I'm running out of time.
Oh wait, no, yogurt has milk in it.
Hey,
And water.
All right, we're done yelling at Matt for not liking ice cream, okay? So this is a cone. Look, it's got a circular base, it's got a vertex. Look at the base right here. It's got a point right in the middle. That's the center of that circle. So if we're going to name this thing, we name it by that point, okay? The base. We'll talk about that in a little bit. A sphere, or just a ball, you could think of it. Oops. Here it is right here. Here's a sphere. All right, just looks like a regular ball. There's a point in the middle of it. Do you see that? And it's just the same distance to any of the outside parts of that sphere. So that distance right there would be the same as it would to be up top here, across here, at any angle. Do you see that? It's the same exact distance from that center to anywhere on that sphere itself. Got it? That's a sphere. Look, it's got no faces. It's got no edges. We didn't talk about the edges here. What are the edges? The edges are those lines, right, that are formed by the intersection of those triangles right here. You see that? Same thing here. There's your edges. And this has vertices as well. Okay, each of these little points where those lines intersect would be called a vertex. We got that? All right. Alyssa?
So like on that part, that prism,
Yeah.
the ones that are the lines at the bottom, like
The dotted lines?
or not the lines, where you said they had vertices, are they at the bottom?
Yeah, that point right there? Yeah. Yep, there's a vertex here. There's one there. There's one there where they intersect. One there and one right there. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, let's move on and let's do a little practice, see if we remember any of this stuff. Look at it. It says determine whether the solid is a polyhedron. So is it a polyhedron? Yeah, all flat surfaces. It's solid, right? And all flat surfaces. So yeah, it's polyhedron.
It's also regular.
Okay, identify the solid. What kind of solid is it?
Um,
Remember the solids that we did?
solid
You-
liquid gas.
What are the names? We got a prism, or a pyramid, or a cylinder, a cone, a sphere.
Oh yes, rectangular prism.
Yeah, good. Look at the base. The base is a rectangle, so it's a rectangular prism, isn't it? Okay. If it's polyhedron, name the bases. Name the bases. Well, it's this bottom one right here. How would I name a rectangle? Yeah, let's go this way. A, C, D, B. You could name it all kinds of different ways, okay? But that would be one. Name the, plus there's another base. What's the other base? G, E, F, H. Good. What about the faces? Now the faces would be all the other sides. You see that? This would be a face. What would that be? G, C, D, H. And you got this one. You got the one on the back. You got this one over here on the side. Okay, I'm not going to name them
You're
all.
running close on time.
Yeah, I probably am. What about the edges? The edges are G, E, E, F, F, H, and on and on and on. Okay? They may once in a while, not often. But what about the vertices? Just all the points, right? E, F, B, H, A, G, C, D. You got it? All right. All right, there they are. Okay, it's all the ones we said. And I tell you what, I'm gonna have to stop this because I think I might be almost out of time.
Speedy clap, clap, clap.
We gotta get our homework.
Um,
Yeah, we do. We should know.
We're at 13 minutes, but we'll stop it anyway. All right. I think you get the idea,
Oh, you were
don't you?
doing that?
Still had